Hi besties, if you are new here, welcome to my thug life. My name is Nella Masugu and this is Growth with Nella. If you are a returning bestie, welcome back bestie. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Today's video is going to be on all the things I struggled with in my first year of varsity, plus a mini life update. Let's start with the mini life update. So I haven't posted a video in about 2 months, if I'm not mistaken. The last time I posted a video was just before my second semester tests. So I haven't posted since then. The reason why I had stopped posting is because I was preparing for my semester tests and then I went home for recess, told myself, you know what, I'm gonna post because I want to catch up since I haven't posted in a while. However, I got home, I was fatigued. Like, I was so tired, I literally could not do anything but wake up, bath, sleep, and eat. That was my routine, literally. Like, I did not do anything else but that. So I could not post at that time because I was extremely tired and I was extremely fatigued. Then I came back to varsity from recess, obviously, and then leadership happened. If you follow me on TikTok, you'd know that I am currently the serving deputy chairperson of the law student academic chapter on my campus. So the Northwest University has quite a few leadership structures, from the SRC to the SCC to HKs to SACs to societies and the PC, right? So just after recess, we had our nominations, then we had our manifestos, then people started voting and results came out. Nah, I'm really not gonna go into detail with it or about it. However, again, I am gonna say I could not be Sana. I am so grateful. I am so grateful to God, to the people that helped me throughout the process, to the people that voted, like literally to everyone that had a hand or that invested their time in helping me, that contributed overall, that contributed to me making it. And yeah, like, anyways, so that happened, and then from there it was straight into exams. Currently I am not doing anything. My exams are over and done with. I have received all my marks, if not the majority of my marks, but I think I've received my marks for all my modules. But yeah, so that's what's been going on for the past 2 months. I know it doesn't sound like quite a lot, but best believe if you are the one doing all these things, you will realize there's a lot going on. Like, from running up and down campaigning to having to come back and study or having to come back and submit something. Like, it doesn't sound like quite a lot, and maybe I make it look easy, I don't know, but or maybe I make it sound easy, but it was tough. It was tough. On to the business of the day, things that I've struggled with in my first year of varsity. I don't think this is all of the things that I've struggled with in my first year of varsity. However, it's what I could think of like now. Like, Mabati Maye, what did you struggle with? These are the things I can think of off the top of my head, understand? So number one, I did a video on this. Yeah, I did a video on this on my TikTok. So a lot of the things that I mentioned on my TikTok video, I'm definitely going to mention again here because they're my struggles, you understand? However, if you haven't checked out my TikTok video, please do check it out. I'm going to link it on the description box down below. First things first, varsity terminology and varsity etiquette. Sana, I struggled, okay? Best believe the transition from primary school to high school is nothing compared to the transition from high school to varsity. Like, it is literally nothing. There are a lot of things that are similar between high school and varsity, considering they are both like learning institutions rather, or like, I don't know, but hey, terminologies are not the same, okay? Like, things are just 96% difference in varsity compared to high school. They don't call them subjects. They don't call subjects, they call subjects modules, okay? They don't call teachers, they call teachers lecturers. It's not a period, it's a lecture. I'm going to a lecture. I'm not going to period 1. You understand? Like, there's a lot of things that differ from high school to varsity. Another thing that I struggled with still on the topic of varsity terminology and varsity etiquette, timetables in varsity and timetables in high school are completely different. In high school, hori, class starts at 7:30, meaning school starts at 7:30, right? By 1:30 or 2, maybe 3 for certain schools, you are done. You've had your last class, you're going home. In varsity, you will have your first class at 7:30, which is probably going to come out at 9, and then you're going to have your next class at 4. So when from 9 until 4, you don't really know what you're doing. Like, your life is just on pause until you have your next class at 4. You understand? Like, you will have your first class maybe at 9 and have your next class at 1 and have class again tomorrow. Like, there's a lot of inconsistencies between when you have your classes. You get me? Like, certain days you don't even have class. Another thing these lecturers do, they will cancel class at random. You will be on campus now. You will be on campus going and maybe rushing to a class. The second you get to that lecture hall, but you teacher canceled the class. When you check your phone, there's dead ass an email telling you the class is cancelled. Then you ask yourself, why couldn't you just tell me yesterday? Like, why couldn't you just announce the class is cancelled yesterday? Like, at least in primary, when class is cancelled, the substitutions, right? So maybe you guys will go to a certain teacher to look after you, or a certain teacher will come to you to just make sure the class is monitored. But in varsity, when class is cancelled, class is cancelled. Now you have to see what are you going to do during that time? Like, and if the bus, because there's people that use buses and taxis, if the bus or the taxi has left you, you have no choice but to stay on campus. So now you have to either go to the library, ungafuni, or go to the student center and just chill there, ungafuni. Like, another thing that I struggled with was definitely adapting. Remember that you're now not only expected to adapt to being in a new academic environment, but you're also living in res, and you have to adapt to being in res, and you're in a different town if you've changed towns or provinces or possibly countries. So you're in a totally different environment overall. So you have to adapt. I struggled. I guess it was difficult. Imagine, you remember the pressure that we were put under, having to like get used to buildings in high school, and like the layout of your high school and which class is and all of that. Varsity is 100 times worse. Varsity is 100 times worse, my guy, because my varsity worse, like, buildings are far apart. They're not close together. Like, buildings are scattered. Like, they are literally scattered. So I am under pressure because now, not only am I walking to campus generally, when I get to campus, I have to walk around to find my class. I have to walk around to find a specific building. Like, it's so difficult. Worse get if your classes are in different buildings. If your classes are in different buildings, it becomes even worse. Trust me. But you get used to it, obviously. We were given a map. I'm not gonna lie, that map was confusing. But you definitely do get used to it. Same way you got used to it in high school. Trust me, Sanalong, you will get used to it in varsity. Another thing that I had to adapt to was definitely getting to know the teachers' names. But now, unlike high school, in high school I feel like you were not forced, but in a sense you had to know almost every teacher's name. Nah. In varsity, you literally will just know the names of the lecturers that you are concerned with. Like, you don't have to know the lecturers of the EMS faculty if you are in the theology faculty. Like, EMS, where now you are only concerned with theology people. So I like that, I like that. However, you do need to know like important people in your faculty. So maybe like the director of your faculty, if there is a director, the administrator, if there is an administrator, but like people that you might possibly need, or like people that might be able to offer you assistance when you do need help, or when you do need assistance. So like, those how would I put them? Those parties that don't necessarily factor into you as a student, but could possibly help you in the future. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like, yeah, if you can know those people, it would definitely help you, especially if you need help with marks and bursaries and all of that. Like, you definitely need to know those people. The thing that I struggled with was definitely adapting to like the town. Yeah. So obviously you're in race. You're responsible for yourself. So you need to run your own errands. You need to buy your own groceries. Sana, I had to get used to the town. I had to know where shops are, and I literally had to make sure I don't forget. Because if you're gonna get lost once, you can't get lost again looking for the same shop. You can't. Not that I got lost. I've never gotten lost, but I'm just saying, like, you need to make sure, Wuti, you know the town as well as you know the town back at home. It's gonna take some time, but essential shops like your grocery stores, your banks, maybe your clothing stores if you need a clothing store, you need to know where those shops are. You know, you need to know where those shops are. So that was extremely difficult. On top of that, just before going to town, you have to use a taxi. Where we are, where I am, I use taxis. There's meter taxis. Bolt and Uber's not really a thing. However, we do use meter taxis. I don't use meter taxis. I just use a straight pointing taxi, like public transport. So that was another thing. The pointing system here is a bit wishy-washy, At home, it's as simple as pointing up when you're going to town and pointing down when you're going locally. Here, to go to town, you point 7. I don't really know how they point to go to local areas, but I also just use the down sign, and that has never really been a problem. I'm guessing everyone uses that, but I don't really know. But to go to town, Pagamisu save literally. Like, I'm not lying, guys. I'm not joking. It's not a joke. It's actually serious, hey? Another problem that I had was adapting to res. So, when you move to res, I live in a house res, meaning this was previously someone's home and they changed it into a student accommodation. There's only 8 of us, so we're not that many. However, to me, that's still a lot of people. Why? Because back at home, I only live with like 3 other people, 4 man. You understand? Like, here it's double that number. It's double that number. So you have to get used to sharing the kitchen with people. You have to get used to sharing the bathroom with people. If you are not in an in-suit, it's difficult. It's extremely difficult and it's extremely uncomfortable for the first couple of days. Another thing that you have to get used to is living by yourself and being 100% responsible for yourself. Meaning, you're cooking for yourself, you're cleaning for yourself, you're doing your own laundry. It's just you. You're running your own errands. You're buying groceries by yourself. It's just you. You understand? Like, it's just you. On top of that, you have to pause. So you have to ensure you're doing all these chores and you're running all these errands, but at the same time, you are passing, you are studying, and you're producing good marks. Another thing that I struggle with is having to find an outfit every single day. Every single day, I have to find an outfit. In high school, you wake up, you know you're wearing the same skirt, you're wearing the same shirts, you're wearing the same blazer, you're wearing the same jersey, you're wearing the same socks and the same shoes. Like, there's really nothing much to change. Like, you won't open your wardrobe and literally stand there for 30 minutes on some, what am I going to wear? Why? Because you know, une uniform. Une uniform. There's literally nothing for you to even think about. Here. Hi. Nia. Here. You will stand. You will open the wardrobe, You will stand. You will have the conversation with the wardrobe and ask the wardrobe, what am I going to wear? The sad part about that is that the wardrobe is not going to answer you. So you have to see yourself. What are you going to wear? Every day, every single... Please, please. I need varsities to come up with uniforms. Like, we need uniforms in varsity, bro. Like, a cute skirt, nyana, something. Even if it's just a cute dress, like we need uniform in varsity. We need uniform in varsity. Every day. Yo, guys, I'm so sorry, but my wardrobe is not for varsity, hey? Like, I came here thinking I was ready for varsity, like, with my wardrobe, but I was not. I was not. I am so. Another thing that I struggle with is the fact that I can't go home as much as I'd like to, because for me, home is far. And for me to go home, it has to be well planned, considering the amount of admin it requires. Like, it has to be well planned. I live all the way in Nelspruit, né? And I am currently all the way on the other side of Gauteng. So you can only imagine how far I am from home. So for me to go home, it has to be well planned. It has to be well planned. And I'm not gonna lie, not going home as much as you'd like to kind of does put a strain on your mental health as well, because I feel like, considering the amount of things that go on in varsity, there are days and there are times when you need to go home just to like get a breather nyana, you know. Not every time I am not okay, like I just have to sit in my room and just be grand, because I'm only gonna get to go home the next recess. Like, I just need to be grand, understand? Another thing that I struggled with is the language barrier between me and the people this side. So people this side speak Tswana for the most part, and like I said, I'm from Nelspruit, and for the most part in Nelspruit we speak Swati. So it was difficult for me to communicate because I could not hear a word. And I thought I knew Tswana, hey? Like watching all those telenovelas and whatnot, I thought I knew Tswana sana. Till I got here and people started speaking Tswana. And I was like, yeah, man, no, what are you saying? Like, do you understand? Like, for me, the language barrier was, yo, sana, like, I cannot explain the difficulty I faced in first semester. At school, it's not necessarily a problem because we can all speak English. The only problem with English, though, is that our English bundles run out. Our English bundles run out. So that was my problem when it came to language. It's the fact that I could not hear, nor could I respond. The last thing that I struggled with in my first year of varsity, which I feel is the most important, was making friends. So for me, in first semester, making friends was extremely difficult. I think for the first 3 months tops of the semester, I literally did not have people that I could actually confidently call my friends. However, as time progressed, I attracted my kind of people, and I think my kind of people also got attracted to me. So now I do have people that I can definitely confidently call my friends. So the reason why I say this is the last but also the most important thing in varsity is because varsity is a very difficult environment to be in. Like, there's a lot going on in varsity. You're dealing with a lot as an individual. So you definitely need to have a group of people, or at least one person that you know you can rely on, one person that you know you can, you know, go to for help, or go to in case you want to distress, or just someone that's going to help you forget about your problems. Like, you won't completely forget about your problems, but that distraction is very important, you understand? So yeah, for anyone that is currently in varsity, whether it's your second year, third year, first year, and you're still struggling to make friends, one thing I'll definitely say is rather be alone than to force yourself onto people. Like, don't force a friendship, whether it's with one individual or with like a group of people. Don't, because I feel like we've heard a lot of stories about people complaining about the type of friends that they make in varsity, or the type of people that they let into their lives in varsity, you know? The second you force yourself into a friendship, I feel like it's bound to go wrong. Do you understand? Like, be patient with yourself, be patient, give yourself time, give whatever friendship you're trying to build with the person time as well. Don't rush into calling people your friends when they haven't shown you their true colors, or whatever the case is. That is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. Once again, I am so sorry for not posting for the past 2 months. However, I am back, and I'm going to try my level best to be as consistent as I possibly can. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.